John Wayne Airport is an international airport in Orange County, California, United States, with its mailing address in the city of Santa Ana, hence the IATA airport code. The entrance to the airport is off MacArthur Blvd in Irvine, the city that abuts the airport on the north and east. Newport Beach and Costa Mesa form the southern and western boundaries along with a small unincorporated area along the Corona del Mar Freeway. Santa Ana is just north, not actually touching the airport. Originally named Orange County Airport, the County Board of Supervisors renamed it in 1979 to honor actor John Wayne, who lived in neighboring Newport Beach and died that year. The National Plan of Integrated Airport Systems for 2011-2015 categorized it as a primary commercial service airport since it has over 10,000 passenger boardings per year. Federal Aviation Administration records say the airport had 4,247,802 enplanements in calendar year 2011, a decrease from 4,278,623 in 2010. John Wayne International Airport is the sole commercial airport in Orange County. General aviation operations outnumber commercial operations, and several facilities at the airport serve the general aviation and corporate aviation community. The other general aviation airport in the county is Fullerton Municipal Airport. Other commercial airports nearby are Long Beach Airport, Los Angeles International Airport and LA Ontario International Airport. In 2008, John Wayne Airport was the second busiest airport in the area with almost 9 million total passengers. As of 2014, the largest airlines at John Wayne Airport were Southwest Airlines, United Airlines, American Airlines, Alaska Airlines, and Delta Airlines. The main runway, at 5,701 feet, is one of the shortest of any major airport in the United States, and passenger airliners at the airport have never been larger than the Boeing 757. Some gates are built to handle planes up to the size of a Boeing 767, which could operate with payload fuel load restrictions. No wide-body passenger airliners have ever been scheduled at SNA. John Wayne Airport is 14 miles from Orange County's main attraction, the Disneyland Resort. From Disneyland. A statue of the airport's namesake welcomes passengers in the arrivals area on the lower level. History. The first airstrip on the grounds was constructed in 1923, when Eddie Martin started giving biplane rides on land owned by the Irvine Company, initially without their permission. Martin and James Irvine made a deal for a 5-year lease on 80 acres for $35 a month and founded a flying school on land owned by the Irvine Company. It was purchased through a land swap by the County of Orange in 1939 and remains under the county's ownership and management. In 1926, Eddie Martin was finally able to acquire a hangar for his airport, a portable wooden building which sold for $350. The earliest dated depiction of Martin Airport which has been located was on a 1929 AAA street map. It depicted Eddie Martin Airport as having 2 runways, with 2 buildings on the north side of the field. The field was depicted as a rectangular property, located south of the intersection of Newport Avenue and Main Street. In 1935, Howard Hughes staged his world speed record-setting flight from the Eddie Martin Airport. At some point between 1940 and 1945, the Santa Ana Army Airfield was established on land adjacent to Martin Field, to the south. The 2 fields were not on the same property. However, flight operations at Santa Ana AAF resulted in the closure of Martin Field at this point. After serving as a military base during World War II, the Santa Ana Army Airfield was returned by the federal government to the county with the stipulation that it remain open to all kinds of aviation users. In addition to continuing to serve aviation, the field became an important drag racing center. From 1950 to 1959, C.J. Pappy Hart and Creighton Hunter operated the Santa Ana drag strip, credited for being the world's first commercial drag strip, on the airport runway every Sunday, when it was closed to air traffic. The original single runway was 4,800 feet long, oriented on a magnetic heading of 210 degrees and 30 degrees. In 1964 the airport was rebuilt, with its present two parallel runway configuration, oriented 190 degrees and 10 degrees magnetic. The longer runway, 19R, now 20R, at 5,701 feet, is only 901 feet longer than the old runway 21 but long enough to legally accommodate jet airliners. A full instrument landing system was also installed to serve commercial operations. During the 1950s, the only airline flights were Bonanza's few flights between Los Angeles and Phoenix, via San Diego. In 1963, Bonanza started non-stop F-27s to Phoenix, and to Las Vegas in 1965. In 1967, Air California started Electra non-stops to San Francisco, 48 flights a week each way. The first scheduled jet flights were Bonanza DC-9s later in 1967. In 1967, the 22,000-square-foot Eddie Martin Terminal was constructed to accommodate 400,000 annual passengers. Remodeling added two passenger holding areas in 1974, a new baggage claim area in 1980 and a terminal annex building in 1982, bringing the facility to 29,000 square feet. Non-stop flights reached Salt Lake City in 1976 Euro 77, Denver in 1982, Dallas-Fort Worth in 1983, Chicago in 1986, and New York Kennedy in 1991. After the Orange County Airport was renamed John Wayne Airport in 1979, the John Wayne Associates commissioned sculptor Robert Summers to create a bronze statue of the Duke. The 9-foot statue, created at Hoka Hay Foundry in Dublin, Texas, was dedicated to the county on November 4, 1982. Today, the bronze statue is in the Thomas F. Reilly Terminal on the arrival level. In 1990, the Thomas F. Reilly Terminal opened. The aging 29,000-square-foot Eddie Martin Terminal was replaced with a modern 337,900-square-foot facility. The new facility included 14 loading bridges, 4 baggage carousels, wide open spaces and distinct roadside arrival and departure levels. In 1994, the then unused Eddie Martin Terminal was demolished. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, a new, larger airport was proposed for the nearby site of the then recently closed El Toro Marine Corps Air Station. However, after a series of political battles, combined with significant opposition from residents in the vicinity of El Toro, the proposal was defeated, and no new airport was built. In 2011, additional terminal space was added and existing terminals were refreshed as part of a $543 million expansion project. A new Terminal C with 6 additional gates was built along with dedicated commuter gate areas in the new Terminal C and new commuter facilities in Terminal A. A new parking lot C was added along with additional support facilities such as a central utility plant. The airport has previously been served by Aloha Airlines, Virgin America and Air Canada. Terminals. The main passenger terminal, the Thomas F. Reilly Terminal, is named for the late county supervisor who lobbied for the airport's expansion in the 1980s. The Thomas F. Reilly Terminal is divided into 3 terminal areas, A, B and C, with dedicated commuter gate areas at the north end of Terminal A and south end of Terminal C. All 3 terminals, A, B and C, are within the same Thomas F. Reilly building and security screen. Passengers can move airside between all terminal areas. Security screening lanes exist in all 3 terminals adjacent to check-in. All security screening areas also have a fast-track lane for first-class and elite frequent flyers. Switching between terminals indoors before security landside is also possible. The check-in counter areas between all 3 terminals have connecting walkways to allow access between all terminals. Complimentary Wi-Fi is provided in all 3 terminals. Terminals A and B Terminals A and B were built in 1990 to replace the former Eddie Martin Terminal, which was closed upon the new terminal's opening. In November 2011, Terminal A added a dedicated commuter gate area, along with refreshed gates, signage and information displays at both Terminals A and B. Terminals A and B were designed by Gensler and Associates, Leeson Pomeroy Associates, and Thompson Consultants International. They contain restaurants, bars and shops, with a themed restaurant located in the airside connecting area of both terminals. In the upper rotunda above the themed restaurant is an American Airlines Admirals Club and a United Club. Terminal C Terminal C opened in November 2011 and added 7 new gates, a dedicated commuter gate area and new eateries and retail. Terminal C also provides a U.S. Customs and Border Protection (FIS) federal inspection service for international flights that do not have pre-clearance. 2 arrival gates feed into the FIS and passengers once cleared exit at the south end of the Terminal C arrivals area. The FIS facility has global entry kiosks for registered users to shorten processing time. The FIS facility was designed by Gensler. Arrivals level The arrivals level is on the lower level of the airport and provides 7 baggage claim belts, 2 in Terminal A, 2 in Terminal B and 3 in Terminal C. Immediately outside the baggage claim is the curbside arrivals pickup area. Rental car offices are between Terminal A and B baggage claim areas, with most rental agencies on site in the lower levels of the parking facility across the arrivals pickup area between Terminal A and B. Across the roadway from the arrivals pickup area between Terminal A and B is an island for public transportation, including taxis, buses and the Disneyland Resort Express. International service. Alaska Airlines provided international service to Vancouver in 2002. However, shortly after launch a stop in Seattle was required as John Wayne Airport was not authorized for pre-clearance or international flights by U.S. agencies. On April 8, 2010, Canada's largest airline, Air Canada, started flights to Toronto, Canada, becoming the first ever international airline that served John Wayne Airport. However, it ceased flights later that year. Canadian airline Westjet provides non-stop year-round service to Vancouver. Westjet did provide seasonal service to Calgary, but it was cancelled in 2013. Flights from Canada complete immigrations and customs formalities in Canada via United States border pre-clearance. Southwest Airlines subsidiary Airtran Airways began new service in June 2012 from John Wayne Airport to Cabo San Lucas and Mexico City. It was the first international service to use the new FIS in Terminal C. Mexico's Interjet began new service in October 2012 from John Wayne Airport to Guadalajara and Mexico City. It ended both flights in July 2014 as the airport officials are seeking a replacement. On September 12, 2014, Volaris, the rival low-cost carrier, is considering plans to begin flights to John Wayne Airport. Aircraft noise abatement and curfew. A 1985 settlement agreement defined the scope of operation for John Wayne Airport and how it affects the local community. The area that lies directly south of John Wayne Airport is considered a noise-sensitive area. The agreement, in conjunction with a Phase 2 commercial airline access plan and regulation, controls the number of noisier operations allowed from the airport. Noise abatement enforcement is carried out with the aid of 10 permanent noise monitoring stations. These stations are placed in areas that exceed a community noise equivalent level of 65 decibels. The short primary runway, coupled with the local noise restrictions, can require a takeoff at or near full power. Some aircraft departing from the airport may cycle to full power while holding at the runway, then release the brakes when engines are fully spooled up. On operations from runway 20, a steep climb may also be required to allow for a power reduction at about 500 to 700 feet for a quieter overflight over the city of Newport Beach. For 20-hour departures, a left turn after departure to 175 degrees allows for a passage over Newport Beach within the confines of the noise abatement profile. Departures from 2L are not affected by these noise abatement procedures. Landings almost always include full flap extensions, and the use of full reverse thrust. The county prohibits commercial departures between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. and commercial arrivals between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. Exceptions can be made for an emergency, mechanical, air traffic control or weather delay, which is beyond the control of the airline. In 2003, the settlement agreement was amended to increase operations, but focused on increases only for aircraft meeting the lowest noise signatures. Access to noise reports are published by the airport and are available to the public. These reports are generated on a regular basis and outline curfew exceptions per carrier and overall noise impact. Airlines and destinations. Passenger equals, the following airlines offer scheduled passenger service. All international arrivals are processed in Terminal C. Airfield information, John Wayne Airport covers 500.82 acres. The airport has multiple general aviation facilities, an airline concourse building split into 3 terminal areas, and 2 paved runways. Runway 2L/20R, 5,701 by 150 feet, used by commercial aircraft and general aviation serving most incoming and departing traffic to the west of the airport. This runway is ILS equipped. Runway 2A/20L, 2,887 by 75 feet, used by smaller general aviation aircraft and light aircraft. General aviation. The airport is the home base for approximately 450 general aviation aircraft. The General Aviation Master Plan adopted in the early 1990s limits the number of FBOs at John Wayne Airport to 2, currently Atlantic Aviation and Signature Flight Support. In addition to supporting fuel sales and other aircraft services, these companies lease facilities to flight training, charter, and aircraft maintenance businesses. FBOs, AirNav KSNA, Atlantic Aviation, Signature Flight Support. Airport businesses, Sunrise Aviation. Martin Aviation Aircraft Maintenance, Orange County Flight Center, American Aircraft Maintenance, Western Avionics, OC Helicopters, Royal Aviation. Cargo. Statistics. Top destinations annual traffic ground transportation bus the airport is served by OCTA Route 76 and 212. Both routes run only on weekdays. Irvine iShuttle the City of Irvine's iShuttle Route A serves the airport and Tustin Metrolink station. The iShuttle service runs only during weekday rush hours. Route A services John Wayne International Airport. Taxis and private shuttles Taxis and private shuttles are also available from the Ground Transportation Center located outside the lower level between Terminal A and B. Disneyland Resort Express The Disneyland Resort Express provides regular service from the airport to Disneyland Resort and Anaheim Resort hotels. Car rental On-site car rentals are available in the basement level of the parking A2 per byte 2 garages. Off-site car rental shuttles are available at the Ground Transportation Center. Car parking The airport has 4 parking garages open in the main terminal area, A1, A2, B2 and C. Valet parking is available between at a drop-off pickup area terminals A and B and between terminals B and C. An off-airport parking lot is also available at 1512 Main Street in Irvine with free shuttle service to the terminals. Aircraft incidents. On February 17, 1981, Air California Flight 336, flying from San Jose, California, to John Wayne Airport, crashed upon initiating a go-around. The crew was cleared for a visual approach to runway 19R while the controller had cleared another flight to take off from 19R. Upon realizing the mistake, the controller ordered the flight to go around and the other aircraft to abort its takeoff, which it did. The captain of the landing Air California aircraft delayed the go-around and initiated a gear-up procedure before a positive rate of climb was achieved, causing the plane to stall. The 737 then banked left at low altitude, causing the left wing tip to make contact with the runway. Then the nose came down and struck the ground and the airplane pirouetted and inverted and skidded down the runway before coming to rest in the margin. A fire started, 4 passengers sustained minor injuries, and 91 other passengers and 5 crew exited without incident. The aircraft, registered N468AC, was damaged beyond repair and was written off. On December 15, 1993, a chartered IAI Westwind business jet carrying 2 flight crew members and 3 passengers, crashed while on approach to John Wayne Airport. All 5 occupants were killed in the crash. The aircraft, which departed Brackettfield, 30 miles to the north in Laverne, California, followed a Boeing 757 for landing, became caught in the 757's wake turbulence, rolled into a deep descent, and crashed near the intersection of State Route 55 and Edina Avenue. The crash investigation led to the FAA requirement for an adequate period between heavy aircraft and following light aircraft to allow wake turbulence to diminish. John Wayne Airport has been rated as one of the nation's scariest airports. In order to compensate for a short runway, and to comply with local noise restrictions, pilots frequently take off at an angle of 20 to 25 degrees, compared to 10 to 15 degrees at other airports. Lion Air Museum is located in a hangar on the west side of the airport. Founded by Major General William Lyon, the Lion Air Museum is collocated with Martin Aviation. The museum exhibit contains military aircraft, as well as some rare vehicles and related memorabilia, with an emphasis on World War II. Annually, Lion Air Museum hosts a flight experience program, allowing the public the opportunity to fly in a historic B-17 or B-24. See also: California World War II Army Airfields, Santa Ana Drags. References. External links: Official John Wayne Airport website, John Wayne Airport Terminal Maps Euro Layout, John Wayne Airport Improvement Program, John Wayne Airport Settlement Agreement. Orange County Sheriff's Department John Wayne Airport Police Services, aerial images of March 2004 from USGS. The National Map, FAA Airport Diagram, effective November 12, 2015, FAA Terminal Procedures for SNA, effective November 12, 2015. Resources for this airport: AirNav Airport Information for KSNA, ASN Accident History for SNA, FlightAware Airport Information and Live Flight Tracker, NOAA-NWS Latest Weather Observations, Sky Vector Aeronautical Chart for KSNA, FAA Current SNA Delay Information.